Our final coach today is the head coach of the Worth County Rams, Coach Scotty Ward. Coach Ward's entering his fourth year, I believe, at Worth County as the head coach. And the thing about Worth County, they're in the region they're in. A lot of these regions have changed this year with reclassification. I know for a little bit it has for the Rams as well, but in that region, you never know until the final weekend. And it seems like there's always 6 or 7 teams that have a chance at the playoffs every year, and it always comes down to the last week. And it did last year as well, and the Rams got in to the playoffs last year. I know it's always a very competitive region, which I'm sure it will be a little bit this year as well. Please welcome the head coach of the Worth County Rams, Coach Scotty Ward.
Thank y'all very much. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Tift Regional, for putting this thing on. For me, this is my 4th year at Worth County. We're pretty much old school football. We're going to line up in the I and we're going to run the football. We're not spread. We don't throw it around much. We may play action a little bit. That's what we are. The bad thing with that, right now everybody's talking about guys 6'5", 300, 6'4", 295. Our starting offensive line is probably the strength of our offense, and we're going to average about 5'11", 210. So for us, you know, it's a matter of just going out and working hard and getting as good as we can. But we got a couple of guys back. Our 2 starters at offensive tackle is Kevin Smith and Marquavian Mincy. They've been with us now. They started off and on for 3 years. Our 2 guards, both of them started last year. Our center played some at different spots last year. We're trying to put him at center, Drew Norton. So, you know, at least we got a nucleus up front that's been there and played together. Our quarterback is a kid who's one of our better athletes in school, but he came out as a 9th grader, 10th, 11th grader, he did not. But he's back and he's going to play quarterback for us this year, Eli Riddell. He's, again, he's about 5'8". That's kind of what we got over there. But you know, he's just a hard, tough-nosed kid. He plays shortstop on a baseball team. He's a good athlete. Our fullback from last year was an all-region player who's going to go to tailback for us, Quantavious Sweeney. He was an all-region guy last year in 10th grade, but we're going to put him at tailback and try to find somebody to block for him up front. We also had a kid, Ellis Anderson, who played for us the last couple of years at tailback. He started for us for 3 years. He led our region in rushing last year. His little brother, Zy Anderson, will be a 9th grader. Zy is bigger, stronger, faster than he is as a 9th grader. For us, he's probably going to get some reps in there. He should be a pretty good football player when all's said and done. At the wide receiver position, we usually are sending kids to Albany. They usually get our kids. But this year we got a couple back. Kid transferred back in from Westover, who was their starting split in last year. So he's got a wide receiver from Westover that's coming in, Dean Worley, that's going to help us a lot at the wide receiver position. We got a couple back, Levante Robinson, who's played for us, Marlon Hall on that side. So we're going to be okay at wide receiver when we decide to throw it. We got a couple of kids who's going to play tight end for us. Again, they don't go out for a lot of routes, but they should be pretty good blockers. Kyle Evans and Alex Hines and Wesley Douther. On the defensive side of the football, we're a little bit slack at certain positions. The strength of our defense is definitely our defensive secondary. Marlon Hall, who's been an all-region performer ever since he was in 9th grade, he started for us. It'll be his 4th year. He's one of those kids that comes along that's really special. He's got a couple of offers on the table, so we're looking for great things from him. He's our starting safety, unless we can convince a little 9th grader to play safety and him move to outside linebacker. He's one of our bigger kids over there. He's about 6'2", 180. Then we got Levante Robinson, who'll be a 3-year starter at corner. He's one of those guys who just can do it all. He you know, on offense, he can run and catch the football. On defense, we lock him on whoever their best receiver is, and he gets in their face and he plays. He had 6 picks last year, was second on our team in defense. In tackles. Then we have a King Slade, another corner, who this will be his 2nd year starting. So our secondary is pretty solid. In the middle, we got to replace our linebackers. John Buchanan will be a starter up front. He'll be his 1st year starting. We're trying to find our other middle backer. Our two outside backers played a little bit, not a lot. Up front, we got Wesley Doubt, the defensive end, who's actually played for the last 2 years. He'll be a senior starter this year for us. Carl Parker, it looks like, will be our other starting defensive end. This will be his first time starting. In the middle, the two tackles, we're going to rotate them in and out and play whoever we can find from the offensive line and defensive line together to rotate it in and out of there. It's been a long summer. It's been a great summer for us. We've worked hard. We went and thrown against some good teams this summer. Had some success and not some. But for us, when we throw 7-on-7, it's really not about what we do anyway. We're more of a play-action football team, and it's hard to be spread and throw and all those things that everybody else does. But it's been a good summer for us. We got a lot of reps in. You know, it is an honor and privilege to be at Worth County and be their head football coach. And every time you go and line up against Coach Solidator or Coach Pruitt or whoever it may be up here, you know, it's always a great Friday night in Worth County. You know, when the cannon goes off, and for some, if you've never been there, it's an experience to behold. We had a guy last year who was a doctor at Phoebe Worth who came for us, and he really told me, he said, I thought I died. He thought somebody had shot him. He didn't know. So if you've never been there, come just for that experience and nothing else. It's a great place to watch the football and get excited. I want to thank Coach Holland back there. He's my offensive coordinator. He runs our offense. Cedric Stegall is my defensive coordinator. He's All-American from Middle Tennessee State. Then we got Kenyon Sims, who's a homeboy from Sylvester, who played at Valdosta State. Chase Giddens is our offensive line coach. He played at Belhaven College in Mississippi. He's from Irwin. Then we got Jody Knight, our outside linebackers coach. Arthur Davis, who's our head basketball coach. He's actually helping us this year at defensive line. And then John Popham will be our wide receivers coach. It's been a great summer for us. It's usual numbers. We started in the spring somewhere 95 to 100. We have about 70 right now. So it's our usual numbers that we end up with. You know, talking earlier about Coach Soliday talking about getting smaller. When I first got here 10 years ago, there's about 1,200 kids at Worth County. Now in the spring, we ended up with 840. So we've lost somewhere almost 400 kids along the way. So it has changed a little bit, but it's still a great place to be, and I'm so very happy to be there. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.